Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to North Carolina here. I'm here for business travel. Of course, I've been here all week. That's why I probably missed a lot of my normal live streaming schedule, but we've been here before. This area has sentimental value to me. This cemetery, we walked along this path. This was, I think, last October. I was in the Fayetteville area. That's where we're at, Fayetteville. Tony, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, we're in North Carolina. I'll be back in Chicago hopefully tomorrow night. I've been working all week here, so here we're by. Look, the Fayetteville Independent Light Infantry, 1793. Heather B, Christopher Dotson. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we'll let the people join in here. No, I'm from Chicago. I'm here for business travel. I'm going to have to answer a bunch of questions. What am I doing in North Carolina? We've been here before. Of course, this has sentimental value to me. That's what I was talking about before, because in October, this is where we learned about Sarah's passing, and we did a walk. We walked down this path, and we talked about our late great moderator. I'm sure some of my longtime friends and followers, you remember Sarah Harwood there. She was the running my mod team. Now Anita's pretty much running the mod team, or Anita does run the mod team. And Anita, of course, remembers Sarah. And we walked along, and Chris and everybody else, we walked along this path. But here we're in North Carolina. What I'll do is we'll check out downtown Fayetteville. It's kind of a nice little town square. Look, they got some cane breaks here. There's cane, I guess, that grows along, kind of like bamboo type cane that runs along the little creeks and rivers here. But yeah, we're in North Carolina, middle of the state there. Yeah, good to see you, Christopher, and ECG, Teresa B. I missed everybody. Yeah, Lori. And we might get some new people from North Carolina. That's great. Maybe you can help me out with some of my North Carolina Fayetteville history. That's a nice church. We filmed it before. There's a cemetery over there. I don't know all the details about the historical significance of all these buildings, but I've learned a lot. We've been here before. We've taken the Amtrak from here to Washington, D.C. And I've got footage of the Amtrak station there at Fayetteville. It's a nice little area here. It's a big military town. There's a giant military base here. Army, I think, employs a lot of people, but you know, Virginia has more. Virginia developed more population more than North Carolina in the colonial period, even though North Carolina is very important in colonial history of the United States. And there's a little bridge over here. So see, there's a creek that runs through here. I think the Cape Fear River runs near here. I'm not for sure. Please watch my back. Nisi, wherever I go. Well, I know everybody, I appreciate people's concern. You know, what can I do? You know, wherever I go, people are going to be like, be afraid. I go to Disneyland, people will be like, be afraid, you know. It's the middle of the day here, you know. I'm from Chicago. I think I know Fayetteville's got, I don't know if it's because of the military base. It has its own, you know, vagrant community here. There's even a smaller city can have problems with crime and violence. And so, welcome to America. It shows that what we deal with in Chicago is not just limited to Chicago. Look, Benjamin, engineer for Fayetteville. Look at this little bridge they got. And yeah, remember we walked, if you go back to October on YouTube, it probably was in landscape. We walked along this little river here. Look at that. Look at that. That's a covered walkway bridge that connects that residential thing here. Look at this. Look at this nice creek here. Look, there's a little rapids. Remember we walked along this creek after Sarah Harwood's passing, and that's why this has sentimental value. That's why I'm coming back here. And Lorraine, yeah, Ernie's tuning in, yeah. Nisi, yeah, second largest military base. It's still pretty large. It's still active. I think it's the number one employer. Yeah, Nisi, this is your area, right? You're near this, so Nisi knows a lot about Fayetteville and this part of North Carolina. So thanks for tuning in, Nisi. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's head through this historic little part. I've been here before. I know what you mean. We might encounter. Hey, there's the bells. Look at that. This hedge is in the way here. Let me get there. Look at that. There's that church. Look at those clouds. There, 12 o'clock on the dot. I wonder if I thought it was going to ring 12 times. No, because you know why? It's 1 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock Central Time. It's 1 o'clock Eastern Time. We're in the Eastern Time Zone. So it's 1 o'clock. Church bells there. Pope Air Force Base. Yeah. So there's an Air Force Base. And there's a... wait, which way should I go? I should go this way. I'm going the wrong way. I got to head towards the main street here. Let's see where we're at here. Hold on. I'm already lost, and I just got started here. Hold on. Where are we at here? There we go. Yeah, so am I heading the right direction? Yeah, we want to go this way. This is Ann Street. We want to get to Hay Street. We got Hay Street, and we got Old Street. Hay Street and Old Street. There's some nice walking streets here. Hey! Yeah, let's check out this church. It's pretty hot. You hear that? We'll head down to this park. Hey, this church is putting on an audio show. Look at the chimes here. This is the First Presbyterian Church here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You hear that? Isn't that nice? First Presbyterian Church here, National Register of Historic Places, Department of the Interior. Look at that. There, First Presbyterian Church here, Fayetteville, North Carolina. I was being quiet to listen to the bells there. 1 o'clock there. So here, let's check out this park. There's a nice little park. Looks like they're working on the main market center. The circle. We'll head over there. And I don't know if I've ever gone through this park. There's a nice park here. Autocorrect took over. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Hey, Teresa B, Ernie's tuning in the rain. How's everybody? How hot is it in Chicago? You guys got to... I think it's hotter in Chicago than North Carolina, which is strange because it's going to get back to the 100s. I saw the extended forecast for Fayetteville, which is where I'm at here in North Carolina. They're going to be like 7 days and like 99, 100 degrees, and it's only like 91 today. So today is like, the weather actually hasn't been as bad as it was before I got here and after I'm going to leave. So what do they call this? They call this Lafayette Plaza, honoring Revolutionary War veterans. Of course, Marquis Lafayette helped us out in the Revolutionary War from France. And I guess that's probably the tallest building in Fayetteville, besides the churches. And there we heard the First Presbyterian here. Lafayette, hero of the American Revolution, champion of freedom, opponent of slavery and opposition, an oppression, and steadfast friend of our young nation. Yeah, he risked his life, even though there's the French flag. Look at these, yeah, look at these North Carolina flag, the American flag. Hey, let's check out this fountain here. So here, Fayetteville, North Carolina, thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, there he is, the Marquis de Lafayette. Look at this little creek. They got these little creeks that run through here. This is live, this is live. This is, I see you tuning in there, Deb. So new Deb, thanks for tuning in there. Sometimes I don't interact as well with the comments because I'm walking around. But yeah, we're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thanks for tuning in. We might get some new people today because I usually live stream in Chicago. And I know not everybody's interested in Chicago, but you might be more interested in North Carolina here. Here's, look at this fountain. This is a really nice fountain. What a beautiful day we got here. I'm Brian, really Chicago. I'm a live streamer from Chicago. I'm traveling for work this week. That's why I'm in North Carolina. And we've been here before. We got projects all over the nation. And we're just checking in to see how things are going here. Look at that. Look at this nice fountain here. Fayetteville, North Carolina. This park to Lafayette. And we'll head right down into the main square here, the main commercial area. There's the bus, the fast bus. They got transit here in Fayetteville. Hey, we got a big truck. A lot of history here, so we'll check it out there. Yeah, Jackie, how you doing there? Yeah, you're right up 95, Norfolk area. That's great. You live in Chicago. Hey, you got a Chicago connection. You got a Virginia and North Carolina connection. There you go. Look at that. What a nice fountain. I've never seen that before. Even though I was here, I somehow missed it. Yeah, so they're working on the market there. That's an historic market that's been there since the 1800s. Fayetteville was kind of founded right at the time of the Revolutionary War. So it's not as old as Wilmington or, yeah, the Chesapeake Bay area that goes back to, of course, Jamestown, which is in Virginia. Here's William Bartram Trail. There, merchandising and warehousing. So here we're going to get to that's a really nice street, Old Street. We might walk back Old Street. We'll go down Hay Street. Here's an old Wells Fargo bank here. But here's, check out this marketplace. People put bubbles in the fountain. Hey, there you go. So here we're going to see if we can cross the street here real quick before the light changes. I think the car's turning here. James Dobbin McNeil. What did he do? Let's see. North Carolina State Firemen's Association. Look at this monument to the fire. See the fire hoses and the fire hydrants? This is a firefighter's monument. James Dobbin McNeil, president of the State Firearms Association there. Born in Asheboro, North Carolina, died in Fayetteville. Captain and commander of the Fayetteville Fire Department. Maybe that's what this is. 1941. No, this is something else. This is like the City Hall or something here. Let's see. What is this? This is a children's museum. This is a children's museum right here, 116. This is the address here. There's a nice mural to Fayetteville. Maybe that's the tallest building in Fayetteville. At least number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. At least 10 stories, 10 or 11 stories. It's pretty good. Yeah, Children's Museum. Thank you. Thanks, Nisi. Yeah, the Children's Museum. Thanks for helping me out here. 1963 protest. Fayetteville State students. Yeah, a lot of civil rights history here, including with this. This is the Old Town Hall. Built on the site of the State House, burned in 1831, where the North Carolina Convention of 1789 ratified the federal Constitution. The Old Town Hall. This is the old market here. They got it blocked off. So I guess they're working on the cupola there. Hey, look, welcome to Fayetteville, Airborne. See, they got some of the military stuff here. Fayetteville, North Carolina. There's the artist there. Hey, they're in the. So there's some restaurant, the Market House. Here we go. So here, there was a shootout here in 1865 in the Civil War. William Tecumseh Sherman came through here. Union Cavalry. That's what this talks about. So they're important to the Civil War, the Market House. There was a battle here, kind of a skirmish, in 1865 when Sherman did his Georgia March to the Sea, and then he came up through North Carolina. Fayetteville, 250th anniversary. Fayetteville, North Carolina. How's everybody doing here? Look at this beautiful building. Look at that nice Spanish tile roof there. So here's a nice little walkable downtown. That's why we want to show this here. Look at the nice murals here. Wow, look at yeah, it's so sad. Ozzy Osbourne. I just learned about Ozzy Osbourne passing this week, as long as everybody else. Ozzy liked Guns N' Roses. Yeah, but hey, this nice mural here. And we also lost Theo, from the Huxtables, the Cosby Show. We lost so many great people here, and I know that's not his real name. I'll get you his real name here. But here's ice cream. I got so much stuff in my head, I can't keep everything in my head here. But hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Yeah, we got sad obituaries every week, you know. Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and we lost Ozzy Osbourne, whose real name was John Osbourne, and they called him Ozzy his whole life. And then he goes back to his childhood. Look at these beautiful buildings here. Jennifer You Should Eat's been showing the ghost signs in Chicago, and that's kind of a leftover sign here from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Look at this archway on the Commons here. Yeah, it's a sad week for Generation X. I know we're starting to feel our age here. We always, you know, we knew about the baby boomers passing. Now we're starting to pass, and it's. I guess. See, there's some military here. Here's the archway. Burgers, dogs, beer. Look at this nice little. This looks very colonial, doesn't it? Yeah. Hulk Hogan? No way. Really? The what's his name? The original Hulk Hogan? What was his name? Oh, I didn't know that either. See, every time I live stream, I learn about the passing of somebody else. I got to look this up here. So excuse me here. Thank you. I'm missing comments because I'm looking up this information here. Terry Balboa. Really? I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, thanks for the good information here. So we'll catch up on all this stuff. So I'm just going to concentrate on filming what I got here. It's pretty hot. We got, we're 1:11 Eastern time. I'm kind of at the eastern end of the historic downtown Fayetteville, North Carolina. Yeah, that's where we're at here. We got 11:11 in the PM local time, 12:11 Chicago time. Look, there's that. We heard the chimes of that First Presbyterian there. So here's an empty storefront. They're shoring up the size of the buildings there. Liberty Point here. Let's head across here. Hey, there's a barber shop. Yeah, North Carolina barber shop. Look at that. So here we'll head across. This is called Hay Street. This is Hay Street. Look how this lines up right to that market there. So here we'll head through. No, I'm from Chicago. I usually live stream in Chicago. That's good. Hey, look at that. Hey, he's doing the chin-ups there. That's awesome. That's great. How you doing here? Hey, the salad box. How you doing here? What a nice restaurant here. That's good. So hey, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. Man, Christopher. Let's see what else is going on here. Terry Eugene Bollea is Hogan's real name. Oh, I didn't know that was his name. That is amazing. Hulk Hogan. Let's look that up here. I did not know that. Where have I been? I've been working too much this week. I missed all this stuff. I found out about Ozzy Osbourne. Hulk Hogan passed away. Oh, so we lost. Oh man, three amazingly well-known figures this week from the entertainment world. Isn't that amazing? So here, look at this. This is Taste of West Africa. Authentic cuisines here. I like this is on Hay Street here in Taste of West Africa. How you doing? Hey, what a nice place here. How you doing here? How you doing here, sir? It's great. Taste of West Africa here. Hey, what was authentic cuisines here? Yeah. See, we'll check out all these restaurants. You got all this outdoor dining, circa 1800 restaurant and bar here. Look at these beautiful Italianate facades here. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thanks, Scott. At least there's some of us still kicking here. Thanks for tuning in. See, Scott, I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Fayetteville. I know it's not the mountains, but I'm here for work, and I'm closer to the ECG. The ECG lives out here in the flatlands, and I think I'm not for sure, but hey, we'll check out this Charlie's Pub. Here's the Phillips, the lawyer's building. That's this nice building we saw. So here's the market. This looks like it's under construction. Maybe is this the courthouse? It might be a courthouse down here. I'm not going to go too far. You're in Raleigh. Hey, Marianne, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I did not realize Hulk Hogan passed. Thanks for relaying the information there. Yeah, I know about Ozzy Osbourne. I know about Theo from the Cosby Show there. I know that was his character's name. But here, let's check out this courthouse here. There, Hot 104.5, a radio station. Looks like they're building something across from the courthouse. This is the county courthouse for Fayetteville. And here, we'll cross the street here. There's a nice view to the market there. So there's the main circle there. Downtown Fayetteville, North Carolina here. Cape Fear Finance. Cape Fear is all by the coast there. But we're not on the coast. We're kind of inland a little bit. Courthouse and jail. See, Nisi, yeah, I'm in your town here. You know all this stuff. Thanks for helping me out here. Here's a hookah lounge. Hey, they got a hookah lounge. No public restrooms. Yeah. But yeah, I wish the war in Ukraine and Russia would stop too. I know it's with all, every time someone says invest in AI, I'm like, well, why can't AI solve wars and all? I know we expect too much. Like AI is going to do everything. AI is great for some things. It's not good for. Maybe AI will be used for war sometime too, just like nuclear. We thought nuclear energy would be a great thing, and it actually was it's a positive, negative to everything. Cumberland Lodge. This historic building here. But here's the there's the market they're working on. Look at this tallest building, one of the tallest buildings here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. They're 10 to 12 stories. I can't tell. I counted 10. Maybe it's more. Here, hot protein waffles here. They got, what is this? Trench Nutrition. I like these storefronts. They had a bunch of teeter-totters. Niece, you remember all the teeter-totters they had here when I was here in the fall? I guess they removed those. Those were a temporary display. Now they got these benches here where you could talk. You could talk through the tube there, and I guess the sound travels. Maybe that's what that does. What does this do? This bench here, they got some public art, street furniture. Hello. You can talk through that little that comes out over there. I don't know if that's what it does. But hey, I remember seeing that last time. Here, we'll head back down this way. Actually, no. Let's show this here. There's some. Nice artwork here. How you doing? Excuse me. So here, let's walk over this way. There's City Center Gallery and Books. Yeah. So let's see here. Books for sale. There's a nice bookstore right in the heart of downtown Fayetteville. Awesome art, bodacious books here. I like this little cart here they got for books. Game day. No, I want to check out this artwork. There's some nice artwork over here. So here, Vagabond Cafe. Look at this artwork here. Now I know Hulk Hogan. I'm sad to hear about that. I did not know about that. Look at this artwork here. Oh, they're pushing it down. Look at these thoughts. We'll come back around. We'll catch it here on the back side here. But here, there's a nice view to the old market there. Here, look at that. See how they took the old canisters and made some nice dog artwork out of. I like this reused art. John Kearney would like that. Look at that. Look at this guy. He's like playing the music there. It's great. So here, how you doing? I'm just live streaming on YouTube. I know it looks strange here. Let's see here. Yeah, awesome artwork. So I personally like downtown Fayetteville. It's got this nice little walkable strip. It's never really extremely crowded. In the evening, I do see some of these restaurants get more crowded. We're after the lunch here. It's pretty hot. So this is probably every time, it's kind of half empty. But a lot of America's like this right now. So here, we saw some nice artwork down some of these side alleys and stuff. We'll see if they changed it from... We were here Halloween time. They had Dia de los Muertos statues. I remember that's like they rented that out for weddings or something, I think. Look at this, the Capitol. Here's the Capitol. Look at that classic. They updated the facade here. Capitol Encore Academy. What do they got here? They got arts. They got a bunch of art stuff here. What is this? Yeah, it's like an arts theater, right? Is that what this is, Nisi? No, this is Fayetteville. I know Wilmington has areas that look like this. Wilmington's a very colonial city. I think it's on near the coast. This is Fayetteville. This is a little inland, but we're in that general area of North Carolina, just a little inland, and we'll walk through here eventually. I'm just checking out. Isn't it amazing how I was here before, and some of these things I remember, some things I don't, even though I live streamed here before. Hey, Brazil, like the flags there. Get some crab bisque, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm from Chicago, so I know there's a bunch in Chicago. Maybe there's some in Fayetteville too. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, good morning. Good afternoon. How you doing? I don't even know what time of the day it is here. I'm all discombobulated. But all I know is no matter where I go, people either like or dislike it, no matter where I go, and so it's not just Chicago. So even in Fayetteville, people are like, be careful. Here's the Rat Fink. People know awesome tattoos here. There's the Rat Fink 3D form. So there's a tattoo parlor. You can get all kinds of ideas for tattoos here by just looking. Hey, the Pink Panther, you get a Pink Panther tattoo. Hey, Piero's Italian Bistro. Look at this. Does this spin around? Yeah, look at that. I don't know what that's supposed to do, but choose love. Downtown Fayetteville. See, they had a bunch of this connects through here. They had I remember this Cameo. There's a nice theater here. It's a movie theater. It's a nice old movie theater storefront here right on the Hay Street, the main drag here. Fayetteville, North Carolina here. This looks really nice at night. They light it up at night. And there it is. So they're showing Superman in Eddington here. I've heard about this Superman. I don't know much about this Eddington. Is this any good? It's got some big actors in it. Hey, Clockwork Orange. They show the classic. They show Creep Show, Cat Video Fest. Hey, go ahead. It's okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. How you doing?
Mind if I? Oh,
yeah.
Nice hat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mind if I ask who you're broadcasting for?
I'm on YouTube on my own channel, Brian Really Chicago. I'm from Chicago. I'm here for work, and I'm just checking out your nice little walkable downtown. Isn't that this theater? Yeah.
It's a great American city.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No. Well, I know that. Yeah. Because of the history of it. Goes back like
There's a criteria.
Yeah.
That cities. I don't know how many cities in America qualify.
Okay.
To be.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned the rate.
I don't know who the organization is that.
Yeah, it's like Condé Nast or some something like they rank them. That's good. Well, you're a great American city. I would agree, because that's why I'm checking out this historic downtown, the historic theater. You got nice restaurants.
Chi-town.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we'll make the list. We're probably the most hated city, but thank you. I appreciate that. No, there's people tuning in here from North Carolina. There's people tuning in from all over the world, but
how do they find you?
Well,
to tune in.
There's only 79 people tuning in.
Okay, it's a start.
It's a start. Yeah, it's a start.
EXP.federal?
No. That's my company. I work for. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, but I mainly do YouTube at lunch, and I do TikTok at night.
YouTube at lunch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you
got a job.
Well, okay. Do you understand that people will jump in front and try to get me banned by saying like curse words? Like all kinds of weird things happen. So
I'll bet.
Yeah.
No surprise.
Oh yeah. It's just like trolls and stuff like that.
Are.
Oh yeah. You get a complete cross section of society and politics and everything. And so I got moderators who's help, but people find me online usually through TikTok or YouTube, and people just like stumble and they're like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina, you know, and they're like, what are you doing here? Man. And that's exactly, we did it in real life, you know?
Yeah, right.
So you're from here, right? Are you 17
years.
17 years,
yes.
Okay, good. So do you like North Carolina? I mean, it's a beautiful weather.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's great, yeah.
People ask me why I came from New England.
There you go.
I tell them heat, golf, and distance from my ex.
Oh, there you go. That's good. Well, keep it up. Brian, I'm Brian. What's your name?
Sean.
Sean, thanks. Nice to meet you. Thanks for talking. This is what it's about. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for talking. That's great. See, there 17 years in Fayetteville. He loves it. How you doing? Man? No, I'm just live streaming here. How you doing? No, I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I got a channel going. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here we go. So here we'll go down here. Rude Awakening. Drink local. Dad bod district. Here's the dad. Here's for me. Even though I'm not a dad, I got a dad bod. So there we go. That's good. So here, let's check out the artwork here. But he's got the heat. You're gonna have 100 degrees the next 5 days here in Fayetteville. I'm getting out just in time. It's only 91 degrees. There you go, Lambie. Do you see that? Thanks for tuning in. What do you think of that, Nisi and Scott? Your fellow North Carolina person there. Here's the art center. Look at the art center here. Yeah. They got the bear. See, we like this in Chicago. They got a big red bear here in North Carolina. I know you got, like Scott, you got black bears, brown bears in the mountains there, right? Here, look at his artwork. So here, Floral Oasis. What else we got here? Got a nice little park. Look at this. You got a dog with a goat. John Kearney would love this too. These are animalistic sculptures made out of metal, welded together. Fayetteville, North Carolina. What time we got here? 1:26. I'm live streaming here. Yeah, it's like I'm walking here. No, you know what he was asking. It's just, I am a tourist. I look like a tourist. Who else would be like live streaming? People are giving me weird looks, just like Sean that we just met there. Here, look at this nice fountain here. So we'll cross the street here if we can. And yeah, Fayetteville, North Carolina here. I'll be back in Chicago hopefully tomorrow night. Here comes the train. You know, there's a big train. A lot of trains go through Fayetteville. The Amtrak does stop here. You could take it down to Florida. The other way it goes to New York City, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. You can even get to Boston. If the whole East Coast tracks go through here. Here we're at Ray and Hay, the corner of Ray and Hay, North Carolina. Let's check out this church. We're waiting to cross the street here. And look at this housing. Look at that patriotic balcony there. They got this nice artwork. Let's see if we get the light here. There, we'll get the light. So let's go. Hay Street United Methodist Church. I remember this last time we filmed this. So here we'll head across here. Old Street. So this is Old Street. I want to film this fountain here. Oh, I knew that car was going to do that. Everywhere I go, you got to watch for the cars here. So, commemorating the settlement of Upper Cape Fear by the Highland Scotch, 200th anniversary, 1939. So I guess the Highland Scotch settled here in 1739. Old Fayetteville Common. Look at this fountain here. Isn't this nice? Hey, Danny, thanks for tuning in. I got it. Chris is tuning in. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, we're in Fayetteville. Man, do you take the bears back? Look at this nice fountain here. Here's Stevie's. Hey, Stevie's, the Stevie's art studios here. I guess that's what this is. Oh, they're playing her song. Yeah, summertime. But look how wide the sidewalks are. They got the nice outdoor seating here. Look at the flowers. Yeah. Pray and hey where you pray. That's it, Chris. Hay Street United Methodist Church. Look at this nice fountain. So here, let's see. Yeah, look at the stained glass windows, the nice steeple here. Look at that. But I think there's some really nice murals along this street. Let's head back on Old Street here, and then we'll go check out that little path where we, in October after Sarah Harwood passed away, we walked along that path along the creek, and we can head back over that way. Maybe I can walk in the shade a little bit more, but I just want to document the downtown Fayetteville Hay Street historic area there. We got to talk to Sean. That was great. See, that's always good when you can talk to a local, someone that lives here, and get their perspective. And they're always like, what are you doing here? Why are you streaming? You know, and it's a good question, you know, and they want to figure out what's who I'm with. Hey, there it is. So it chimed on the half hour. That's 1:30 in the afternoon here. The church, the Hay Street Church there, chimed there. I sound like Larry. Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy. That's me. I'm Larry the Cable Guy here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You found me. See these nice little streets that connect here. Look at that cornice. Yeah, let's walk in the shade here. You got little brick covered sidewalks, very, very quaint. A lot of churches, very walkable. I like these crepe myrtle trees, whatever they are. People trying to get me to say stuff. Yeah, get her done, get her done. Larry the Cable Guy, get her done. See, I told you I'm an old hillbilly living in the city. That's what it is. You spotted me, you figured it out. Here's, I guess they got a school here. It looks like the First Baptist Church. This is First Baptist Church. I don't know if that's a school or a rectory. It's pretty large here. It's the First Baptist Church here. See, we walk. If you go down there, that's where we saw the Dia de los Muertos statues. Halloween time last year we were here. But we caught, there's a rerun where I walked down the street at dusk with the beautiful sunset, and you could see that church steeple in the back. And we walked by these murals here. I'll show you these murals here, but we're going to check out this church first. Baptist Church here in Fayetteville. First Baptist Church, Anderson Street and Old Street, Fayetteville. There's the Dogwood State Bank. Dogwood tree, I guess. East Lansing, Chris, thanks for tuning in there. Chatal's tuning in there. Samuel Jones, how you doing there? Bluegrass record, yeah. Yeah, I like some good bluegrass. Let's see. I'll have to get out my Spotify. I can't think off the top of my head. It's a good question. I do have some bluegrass, some real bluegrass in my Spotify. There's a lot of alternative bluegrass. I got a lot of bluegrass cover songs. Just like the punk rockers, they'll cover songs. The bluegrass bands will do the same thing. Here's The Color of Arden. I'll tell you a good old Melungeon hillbilly story from Eastern Kentucky that goes back to the 1815s. Okay, the colonial settlers like Daniel Boone, and they first started settling Kentucky about 1870s. They would do the long hunting. There was people that did forays into Kentucky, like Westerners, non-indigenous people, in the 1750s. I think Nathaniel Gist's father, Christopher Gist, the guy that saved George Washington in the French and Indian War, I think he was trekking around the Ohio River Valley at that time. But a lot of the old Melungeon families from North Carolina and eastern Tennessee and western Virginia, the Cumberland Gap area. We went through the Cumberland Gap and ended up in eastern Kentucky and the hills there in eastern Kentucky. And there was there was a good old, let's see if I haven't told this story in a while, and I got to make sure I tell it right, because once I do it recording, people they search the details and they say, oh, you got the date wrong or something. Okay, his name was Isaac Callahan. And what happened was, okay, in those old days in eastern Kentucky, you know, land claims were pretty sketchy. They were always disputing over land claims, and people would squat and they wouldn't have a title to the land. And people brought their hogs with them, and they would let them go down the little creek, you know, the hollers there in eastern Kentucky, and they would let them, you know, eat the mast, which is the acorns and the stuff from the trees that would fall down in the valleys. And so there was a dispute where somebody stole or killed somebody's hog or cow that belonged to somebody else, and they blamed it on Isaac Callahan. They said you stole this guy's cow, and like they ended up fighting, like somebody got killed over it. I'm not for sure exactly the circumstance of what led to the altercation here. We're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm telling an old Melungeon story from way back in eastern Kentucky, because people were trying to establish my hillbilly bona fides here, you know. And so Isaac Callahan, and I have ancestry that lived next to these people. That's how I discovered this story at that time. They were living in that area of eastern Kentucky in 1815. And so Isaac Callahan was arrested, and they were going to have a trial for him. And it was very political, because at that time, you know, you remember the Dukes of Hazzard and stuff. I know that wasn't Kentucky, but the towns were all ran by a local boss. There was like a political leader, a strong man that would like run the town in the old days. You know, that really happened not only in Kentucky, but other parts of the South and Deep South. And so it was hard to get a fair trial, especially if you were a Melungeon, or if someone had bias against your family, you know, for any reason. It could be for any reason, you know, that you were politically ostracized and you weren't considered part of polite society, you know. And so Isaac thought he wasn't going to get a fair trial, so they somehow got it switched to another county. But he still was sentenced to hang. They for whatever crime he did, Isaac Callahan was sentenced to hang. And so the night before he was going to be hung, this is in eastern Kentucky, 1815, they said, you got any last words? And they were singing this song, and they kept singing the song over and over again, like mocking. And he said, I'm 2 foot tall, and tall as a tobacco chaw. I'm as tall, 2 foot tall, as high as a chaw of tobacco. They kept singing this song, and he played the fiddle. That's the other thing. Somebody asked me about bluegrass music. Isaac Callahan played the fiddle. He was known as a fiddler. He was one of the old original bluegrass fiddlers, a Melungeon fiddler that, you know, the banjo, the fiddle, all that stuff that went into bluegrass music, the Melungeons were part of that as well, culturally, developing that. Scots-Irish are part of that as well, but so are the Melungeons. And so banjo is actually an African instrument. We forget that. And so they did hang him the next day, and the reason I'm telling this story is they said this really happened in real life. Before they hung him, he played a song on the fiddle, and it brought everybody to tears, because they knew that was the last song he was going to play on the fiddle before they hung him. This is Isaac Callahan. They hung him in 1812 or 1815 in eastern Kentucky, and I can get you the details on it. And after he played the song, he broke the fiddle in half, and they hung him. And people to this day talk about the last of old Callahan. There's a bluegrass song. Look it up. It's called The Last of Callahan. And it's a haunting melody. And they don't know if it's based upon what he played before they hung him. And that's a classic, like in the Great Depression, when they were recording the old, you know, they would go to the Deep South and they would record all the the blues legends and the Delta blues, they would go into Appalachia and they would record the classic bluegrass songs, these people that were up in the hills and never seen, you know, a traffic light or anything. And that's where they got some of the early recordings, and it's from the 1850s. People remembered that song. And I have ancestors that are distantly related to the Callahans. And they're still there to this day. This is the Lafayette statue. We saw this before. We'll head back across this bridge. We got 139. I want to go back to this path. I want to get in the shade here. Isn't there like nice Cambridge? And then I can concentrate on the comments more. I'm missing all the comments here. But yeah, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, thanks for letting us know our rights there. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a nice park there. Yeah, I missed the Hulk because I saw Ozzy Osbourne passed away. And we've lost a lot of people this week. It's we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner. He drowned on vacation. I mean, you know, it just, you know, it shows you, you know, I appreciate everybody's like, wherever I go, people are like, it shows you no matter where you go, even swimming on a vacation, it's dangerous. You know, it's just, we live in a dangerous world. You're crossing the street. I know people want to talk about open carry laws and stuff. You know, here's just, you know, just a person crossing the street just like me. You know, I just, everything doesn't have to end up being a existential battle for life and death. You know, I'm offended. Let's go right to the worst extreme scenario. It's like road rage. It's like, calm down, people. Here, so the Henry F. Shaw Linear Park. We checked this out last fall. Remember, after Sarah passed, we walked along here. This has sentimental value to me. Remember we checked out these cemeteries? We found some old Melungeon names in the cemetery. And why do I talk about the Melungeons so much? You know, watch my channel. You know, we talk about American history, and it's a part of American history that I feel is not talked about enough. Because I find it fascinating. But it's just, it's so hard to explain. I need to write a book. But here, look at these great myrtle trees. We're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Now I'm gonna, we walked through the nice historic downtown. Now we're gonna go along this linear park and check out the nice paths here. Yeah, it's so sad. So sad. Two men abuse their bodies in different ways. Yeah, you talking about Ozzy and Hulk? Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. So they're both a major part of the entertainment industry. Yeah, people don't realize how much Ozzy damaged his brain in the 1970s, you know, the Black Sabbath. I argue Sharon was the one that rescued his career. Ozzy had a second life because, you know, he was with Black Sabbath. They kicked him out of the band eventually. He was kind of, you know, he even talks about himself. He was afraid that he was all washed up. And then Sharon was in the music industry. She knew the business of it. And kudos to Sharon. She was pretty much not just his partner and wife, she was his business manager, and got him into the Betty Ford clinic. Hulk Hogan with steroids, all those big, you know, the 80s and the roid era in the 80s, even Arnold, it took a toll. Here's, yeah, there's cemeteries and churches over here. We'll head around here. I'm already off the path here. Hey, Dolores is tuning in there, yeah. So I'm supposed to check in my flight here. Let me check into my United flight here. So what do we got? 143. Now I can check in later. What's the? It's not like I'm gonna lose my seat here. Hey Taco, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, so okay, did you guys see on TikTok they added this feature where I can have, like, I think everybody has this, where you can have like a text message, you can post pictures, and you can like, I can notify people when I'm streaming and if I'm going to be out of town, or if there's some information. And if you go to my page, you'll see it there near the top. It'll say Brian Really Chicago, and it's my little blog there. I think 300 people already joined it, so thanks. There's a cat. There's a giant cat. Is that a bobcat or is that a cat? That was a big cat. Did you see that? The way it was running. Maybe there it is. That's a giant cat. Look at that cat crossing her path there. That's a big tomcat. There's the bells. Yeah, bulletin board. That's what it's called. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, Eric, did you find the bulletin board? So I just added that bulletin board to my TikTok. And hopefully that'll help out, especially when I travel and stuff. You hear the chimes there? Yeah. So here, they got a bunch of information here. It's kind of faded. They got the overlook here. Look at this sugar cane. Or it's not sugar cane. It's like bamboo. They call these cane breaks. They're all throughout the Appalachia and southeast area United States. The rivers and creeks would have these cane breaks, and it's along here. Yeah, thanks for the flowers there. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, we found a pizza place here. Nisi might know it. It's called what is it? It's a magic mushroom pizza or something. It's the whole. I loved it. It's a hippie theme, you know. And so here, I had this problem last time. I can't find. How do I connect? Oh, let's go to this map here. How do I connect with the other path here? I'm lost already here. Meeting. Yeah, there's a church up here. So here we're still in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm kind of just wandering around here. Meeting in Cool Spring here, Linear Park. So where are we at here? Here's the bridge. You are here. Oh, okay. So we head up there and we cross. Okay. Cemetery. So we walk through the cemetery. Okay, we did this last time. So here, let's go past the church. Archives building, church offices here. This is an important church here. Let's talk. Look at this building here. Father Henry Evans building our archives buildings. Catherine Davis McNeil. Okay. There you go. Evans Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church, 1893. So now we walk past the Wayman Church in the Cabrini Green area. That was an African Methodist Episcopal. Evans Metropolitan AME Zion Church here. Here it is. Yeah, we're seeing some good churches here in Fayetteville. There's the Cornerstone. Mary and George Street. Somebody stole your wallet 3 blocks. Yeah, people told me to be careful. So what am I supposed to do? I usually live stream in Chicago, and people are just amazed that I've been able to live stream 2.5 years in Chicago without ending up in the obituaries. And here I'm in Fayetteville, and people are like, watch out. But I met Shane there, and he didn't seem worried. Here, let's go through the cemetery here. Let's see, here's the Cross Creek Cemetery. So Fayetteville, North Carolina, we're at the Cross Creek Cemetery. Oh no, Confederate burial grounds, yeah. Well, we'll move on here. We are in North Carolina, so North Carolina was a Confederate state for the Civil War. Yeah, we've been in this cemetery before. The only reason I'm here today, last time we walked through looking for Melungeon names, surnames. Here's is this path. There's a nature boardwalk path that runs through here. But look at these old tombstones here. You get some really old graves here in North Carolina. Go back to the Revolutionary War period. Look at these ones in the back here. They got the very Gothic here with the if you like cemeteries, I know there's people that dedicate their whole channels to cemeteries and grave sites and haunted places, and they would love this. I, me, mine. Yeah, you singing the Beatles song there? Look at this. 1798, Chris. Are you seeing this? Robert Rowan, 1795. Moved from family plot, February 17, 1971. Colonel Robert Rowan, chapter Daughters of the American Revolution. These are people that fought in the Revolutionary War from North Carolina here. Look at these old graves here. What do we got here? North Carolina. I can't even read they're so faded. These are not as old though. I think these are Confederate graves. And again, I'm not trying to glorify the Confederacy. This is part of history. I'm in North Carolina. You're gonna run into Confederate graves. You're gonna run into Union graves. William Tecumseh Sherman came through here. He's on the historical marker. He was fought for the Union. There was a battle there where that market was. So here's where we want to get to. There's this path goes along here. Pete's tuning in from Hazlitt there. How you doing there? Yeah. Do you think I care if I stutter or not? That's who I am. Except the stutter. It's great. If that's all you could do is make fun of somebody for stuttering, I feel sorry for you. You just go around YouTube looking for somebody to stutter to make fun of. Wow, that's great. Thanks for tuning in. So here we found it. So remember in October we walked along here. That was after Sarah, our late great moderator, Anita and Chris, and all my old time friends and followers. We all miss Sarah, and along with Diana. I think Diana was still tuning in because that's after we all learned about Sarah, and of course Shauna and Mary Therese. I talked to Mary Therese in October when that happened. I was here, and I never thought Fayetteville, North Carolina would be tied in with the sentimental value for Sarah because she was from Oklahoma. But I happened to be working out of a hotel when we learned about it. And actually she passed before that and we didn't even know about it, and I felt so bad. At least Diana, I was able to talk to Diana, and that was a hard conversation with Diana. She was in the hospital and she was scared. You never want to think any conversation you have with someone's the last conversation you're going to have, but I was like, I wonder if this is the last conversation, and it was. Look at look underneath the highway bridge here. There's this nice creek here. Yeah, how you doing there, Gina? Yeah, Zen, how you doing there? You whistling through the graveyard, walking the dog. There you go. Yeah, it's, here, look at this creek here. So what we got? We got 152. Yeah, we won't go too long here. I'll go until our whole hour's up here. This is my lunch break here. I'm taking a break. The good news is I made good progress this week on my work and my job here. That's why thanks for letting me take a break from live streaming a few days so I could concentrate on work. And we really made a lot of progress. I was like in meetings like a lot of yesterday, and then we were touring the site. And but look at these beautiful clouds. Look at that. We got this pathway. If we walk around here, we'll get back to the shade. There's like a little bluff here. Thanks, D. Michael. Thanks for missing me. So I'll try to live stream again tonight. We might go someplace else. I might go to some botanical gardens instead of going to downtown there. And we'll find something else to stream tonight on TikTok. And then tomorrow, I probably won't live stream in the morning, but maybe I'll live stream from the airport before I get on my flight if I got time on YouTube. And then we'll hopefully tomorrow evening, dinner time, hopefully I'll be back in Chicago, and then we can get back to our regular scheduled broadcast pattern there. And then I'll start using the message board there to let people know my schedule better. But we're just walking through the woods here in North Carolina, nothing big here. I'm not going to go too much further. I'll turn around because I got some stuff I got to do from the hotel for work this afternoon, and then we'll hop on a flight. I want to check into my United flight there. But you see how they got this nice nature walk that goes along this creek. You can easily walk out of the downtown there. Yeah, we'll go to those stairs. We'll go down, see if we can get down closer to the creek here. And again, Fayetteville, North Carolina here. Yeah, thanks, Gina. Yeah, I'm here for work. You know, and we're enjoying as much as we can here. Yeah, we'll head down to this little creek, this little water feature here. You been having withdrawals, Lady T? Hey, thanks for, I'm glad to, thanks for letting me concentrate on work a little bit there. But yeah, we'll get back. We still got all kinds of fun things. We got Lollapalooza coming up. We got Fiesta del Sol. We got the Bud Billiken Parade will happen in August. Taste of Chicago doesn't happen until September. There's to be other things going on. The summer is really just getting started, even though we're already into July. It's amazing how time flies, I know. See, look how they tied this thing into the, anchored it into the ground there. Air and Water Show. Yeah, we got the Air and Water Show. I was talking to Jennifer, and I was talking to Jeremy. Jeremy, of course, Jeremy the pilot. If we can get up on Jeremy's rooftop, that would be amazing. And I'll talk to him and see what he's doing. And Jeremy will be streaming the air show, and he's better to watch than I am because he knows all the planes and the military aircraft. He's a pilot. And he had like thousands of people on his stream last year. He's probably the best person to be the MC. But if I could be standing next to him, I could be the second best. You put the puzzles together. Yeah, me too. You know, as I get older, and you know, I'm always trying to get financially in a place where I can, you know, be independent enough to travel and go to other cities, especially in the wintertime, and take this show on the road. Even though I'm Brian Really Chicago, I do enjoy being in Chicago as much as possible, but it is good seeing other cities, you know, and we'll get to that. I do want to take some Amtrak rides and take everybody along with us on that as well. But here we're in this linear park here for Fayetteville. It is nice. People are using this path. I'm not the only person on it. See, people are jogging, and yeah. So if you just joined here, we're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We're in this linear park. We're walking by a cemetery here. And I'm just gonna head down to this creek and see the water, and then we'll turn around here. Look at this nice view. You can go down these stairs. Air and Water Show, yeah, Shauna. See if he wants to go there. Take the train in, yeah. If you do, I'll be looking for you. You know, it depends on what the weather, see how hot it's gonna be. If, you know, there's always, that's why they do it. My favorite time to watch it is actually the Thursday and Friday before, because it's not as crowded. A lot of times they practice and they do almost the whole show. And then Saturday and Sunday it's so crowded. But here, look at this creek here. Yeah, let's go down just a little further here. So we've gone further. This actually connects to another cemetery, and it goes for another mile or so, connects to a neighborhood. And then the way we went, it went to downtown Fayetteville. But here I'm going to turn around so you see what this is. But thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope this was a good and let everybody know, yeah, you know, I'll try to stream tonight on TikTok. It's going to be hot. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to get into this botanical garden near here, see if it's open. Is that worth it, Nisi? Is that botanical? I don't know if she's still on. Yeah, it'd be nice. I would love to go up in a hot air balloon. That's a good idea. That would be nice, live streaming from a hot air balloon. As long as it doesn't catch fire. Yeah, you got me. I'm a gay lesbian from New Jersey. That's me. That's, yeah, you found me out there. Aren't I a pretty lesbian? Yeah, thanks. Are you hitting on me? I think Simon Tiny Pee is hitting on me. And such a mature name there. You got Tiny Pee. Why would you put that in your name? Let's see if I can walk through this cemetery here. Let's see here. But hey, welcome to Fayetteville. I think I can get out here. Let's see. Let's see, where do I want to go? I want to get back to there. Yeah, actually, we're not going to go this way. We're going to stay on the path here. And, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to trip over the stones here. Yeah, I'm here. I'm in Fayetteville to rob things. Yeah, I'm going to live stream my crime here and incriminate myself by live streaming my criminal activity here in Fayetteville. That's great. Okay, I think it's a sign for me to get off of here. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be back in Chicago tomorrow night, and you control me there. So thanks, everybody. We'll try to do TikTok tonight after 5 Central Time. Thanks for tuning in here on YouTube. I missed everybody. We'll get back to Chicago soon enough, and we'll do all that stuff. So have a great rest of your Thursday from Fayetteville. Stay cool. Stay cool in that Chicago heat dome. I think it's hotter in Chicago than it is here. I'm going to get back in the air conditioning. Have a good, we'll see you in a few hours there on TikTok. And thanks for tuning in there. If I missed anything, we'll catch you next time. And if you watch the whole recording of this, go to the live tab on YouTube. And we'll catch you later here from the cemetery. See, Bowles, that's an old Melungeon name. But that doesn't mean this person's a Melungeon, because some of the Melungeons were Bowles and other ones were just the European Bowles, and that's where they got the surname. So hey, we'll talk to you later from Chicago, from Fayetteville. We're going to be in Chicago tomorrow. So from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Chicago, we'll see you. I got heat stroke, so I don't even know where I'm at. We'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Thanks, mods.